Alright guys, what's up? This is InkSlasher44. Today, we're back and we're playing some zombies, and right here, as I said, we were trying to kill George, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work this whole game, but we tried, and it's apparently really hard to do with 4 people. But as I said, I wasn't going to be talking about the gameplay in the next few episodes. I'm actually going to be talking about the PSN outage. And I'm sure all of you have heard so much about this by now, but I asked you what you guys wanted me to talk about, and that was one of the things that came up, but I think it came up actually twice. Let's start it off about why it happened. So basically what happened is there was this guy, and for the life of me I can't remember what his name was, and basically what he did is he made it so people in the Call of Duty community could make their own hacks, and when they were host, they could add different jump height, equip certain guns, yada yada yada. Problem that this caused is literally every game in Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4, I'm not sure about World at War myself, but was just a clusterfuck. Like literally, I put up a video a while ago of a Harrier, an AC-130 down at a Harrier's level, shooting AC-130 bullets, whatever, as fast as it could down to the ground. Not really very fair. But anyway, he did this, and then apparently what happened was Sony charged them, and this clan, I guess you'd call them, called Anonymous, apparently attacked Sony and totally fucked them over. Basically, they took credit card information from people, did everything possible to fuck Sony over, and the PSN outage went for 25 days. Now, this did not mean you could not play PS3, this just meant you couldn't go on the PlayStation Network, which meant no online Call of Duty, no accessing the PlayStation Store, no streaming movies, no internet. Pretty much anything that had to do with the internet on your PlayStation or PSP, you were screwed for. And this is a huge problem. Like, you may not realize this, but it seems small. Like, the way I look at it is, it seems small. 25 days without internet, could I do it? Yes. Would I want to? No. But really, it's a huge problem for Sony. I believe by the end of it, their stocks went down between 6 and 10%. I've heard anywhere in between those two, and that is huge. Like, a $1 billion company, 10% of that is just ridiculous. That's like 100 million. And sorry if my math is off, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Which is just insane. I couldn't even imagine having $100 million. But anyway, so they lost that huge bunch of money, and I'm sure they're going to lose more than that, just because basically all of their customers are going to lose faith in that company. And what I mean by that is, are you going to trust a company? I won't get into the Xbox thing yet. Are you going to trust a company that has always delivered, never got hacked, and actually that's not true. Well, anyway, they always perform properly, you can play it all the time, and your credit card information doesn't get stolen? I guess I should say personal information. Or are you going to trust a company that recently was down for 25 days, and you could possibly lose your credit card number and your personal identification? It's a pretty obvious decision. And now we'll get into the Xbox versus Sony thing. You see, Xbox versus Sony was always a huge problem. Problem? Wrong word for that. We'll say issue. So basically, there were the people saying that Sony is the dominant company, and there's people saying Microsoft is the dominant company. Now, personally, I think they both have their strength. First of all, the online for Xbox is absolutely impeccable, and I do not think Sony can stack up against that. Maybe if they change some things in the future, but as of now, Microsoft, has that sector covered. As far as hardware goes, Sony is a little bit ahead of the other guy, or a little bit ahead of Microsoft. Reason being is, you guys may not know this, but PS3 uses Blu-ray discs. This is just one example. Microsoft uses regular DVD discs. Now, there is not too much of a difference in this sector. One main difference is Blu-ray discs, believe it or not, actually produce a lot better sound. Don't even argue with me about that. I know that's true. I've looked it up, and a guy by the name of Xboxitude, or Vinny as I call him, actually, we had a discussion about this one day a while back at work, and I believe this is not so much proven, but that Blu-ray graphics are actually better. But that being said, PlayStation, it went down, as you all probably know. And you see, when people can't do something that they're really used to doing, they have this thing called withdrawal. And, for example, a heroin addict gets his heroin taken away. He's gonna be a mess. And, yes, I'm comparing PS3 to heroin. So you see, a lot of people are, believe it or not, addicted to video games. I'd say most of the YouTube commentators are. Now, is this a bad thing? Not really. You'd probably much rather be addicted to video games than heroin. So, me personally, I have both systems, so this wasn't a problem for me. But a guy I work with, he had a PS3. He was an avid PS3 follower, user, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And the PSN goes down. Now, after about 10 days, he was pissed off. He went up to me and started joking around about buying an Xbox. After about 15 days, he comes up to me, he's like, guess what, tomorrow I'm buying an Xbox. I thought he was joking. No, he's totally serious. So he plans on, or he did buy this Xbox, and now he's selling his PS3, even though the PSN is back. Reason being is probably because the better online play, and a lot more of our friends play Xbox, which is actually a really big thing to me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys. So Sony just lost one customer. He will no longer be buying games from them, and he will no longer be buying controllers or anything along that general vicinity of things. That didn't make any sense, but anyway, they're no longer making money from that customer. And I'm sure this happened all across the world. And basically, me personally, I still have my PS3. I wasn't going to go sell it, even though I probably could have got a good $300 for it with my games, which is sounding really nice right now. But I still like it, I like having it. I think overall it is a good system, and there's no reason for me to sell it. However, people who are not as, I'm not going to say as well off, because I wouldn't say I'm well off. I'd say people that do not have the money, like me, that don't have a job, can't have the two systems, I guess, and a lot of them may have switched, even if they had both. Their trust may have flopped, and me personally, I do not play much PS3 anymore. People that have me on PS3 may have noticed that, but basically, I'm almost solely exclusive to Xbox, aside from playing games such as Killzone 3, which I haven't played since it went back up, but I'm looking at it right now, and it's really looking appealing to me, and Fallout New Vegas, because that's what I'm doing my playthrough on. And I might be getting also Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim for their PS3, because it's easier to make a separate account to do a walkthrough on PS3 than it is on Xbox. What else is there to do with the PSN outage? I think I've pretty much touched on everything. That it was a tragic time for Sony and a lot of their users. Oh, another thing, it was making people do this crazy thing called exercise that was just ridiculous. The one person that made me think of this is a guy, I believe his YouTube's Pt.2, but he goes to my school, and I was walking home from track one day, and he was riding his bike over to his dad's house, and he was biking over there. I'm like, so have you been playing much video games? Not even remembering that Sony was out and that he only had a PS3. And he said, no, the PlayStation's out. I'm like, what have you done? He's like, not play video games. And like, I mean, it seems like a simple thing, but people like me and other people like me, if I'm not playing video games, I'm not going to be the type of person that goes and watches TV. Actually, I hate TV. To be honest, there are a few shows that I enjoy, such as The Simpsons and Fringe. But other than that, I seriously, I hate TV. Like, very few shows on TV actually interest me, and it's because I'm such a hard critic. Really, I pay attention. Really, I really don't like TV because, like, I'm such a hard. As I was saying, I'm such a hard critic, and like, I can't stand when a show does something stupid. For example, wait, I can't even think of an example. More movies, I guess. But like, when I watch movies, my mom even says like she hates watching a movie with me because I hate every movie I see. Well, like, Inception was an amazing movie. That was a 5-star movie if you asked me. But watching TV, it's just boring. But anyway, back to my point. People like me that don't have video games are going to get outside and get a lot of exercise during this time, which was actually probably a good thing for a lot of people because, you know, everyone's getting obese these days. But I have to go because my driver instructor is knocking on my window and I have to go do a driver's test. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time, bye-bye.